to church, why don't you jump on your feet this morning? We're going to sing some carols together.
To the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare Him room. Yet heaven and nature sing. Yet heaven and nature sing. Yet heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men with their songs employ. While fields and floods, while shields and plains, repeat the sound in joy, repeat the sound in joy, repeat the sound in joy.
Let's all sing this together.
Joy to the world.
Come on.
Joy to the world. Hills
church this morning. We're glad you could join us on this almost Christmas day. We are doing our Sunday celebration, our Christmas celebration. Our Christmas service is today. We don't do one on the actual day itself. Got a couple of Batman fans down here who are looking forward to what's happening. Let me just wipe a little bit. You know, kids, you have to help. Sorry, please be seated. Kids, you have to help me today. Who's here? Who's kid who wants to sit down the front? If there's any other kids in the service here and they'd like to come and sit down the front, please sit down. Yeah, that's right. That side of the little edge of the wall. Not so close. If you come any closer, you'll get painted on. Now, I'm gonna get your help today because I'm gonna paint the Christmas story. Who's heard the Christmas story before? Nobody. This is going to be great. I can make it all up as I go along. Okay. Who went to Carol's out at Port Hedland last week and saw this? Yeah, what did you see? What did you see last week at Carol's, at the singing at the park? Yeah? What? No? Yep. It's forgotten the question, I think. You can put your hand down then. Okay, what did you see? David's painting. Who's David? He was in a red suit. That's good. No, you've done really well, William. Thank you. Let me introduce myself later. My wife Lil is out in the kitchen, and I'm David. I've been here for 29 years, and we've been pastoring this church for 17. And if you're here for the first time today, welcome. You're our VIPs, our special guests, and we love having you here. And we hope to convince you to come back next Christmas for another painting, because that's about how long it's going to be till I do another one on stage like this. But if you want to come in between time, you're most welcome. Yes, Batman.
You painting.
You saw me painting. Good. Well, you're going to see me painting again. So, here's the story. Okay, this is the format, just so you get an idea. It's going to be about an hour long. I get to talk and tell the kids' story for a couple of segments of about 10 minutes each, 15 minutes if they're handling it, shorter if there's so many distractions I can't carry on. The Christmas story started 2,000 years ago. How do all good stories start? Once upon a time, 2,000 years ago, there was a young lady by the name of Mary. Mary lived in a little village, and she was engaged to her boyfriend to get married. But before they got married, an angel turned up in her house one day and freaked the living daylights out of her. And she got a big fright, and the angel said, "Don't be afraid." Angels usually say that. So if you're ever seeing an angel, turns up in your kitchen or something, just wait for the "do not be afraid" moment, and then don't be afraid. Life skills here. Okay, I'll catch up with you later on that one. So Mary, the angel said to Mary, "Mary, God is smiling on you. He's very pleased with you. He loves you. And he wants to tell you something very special. You are going to be the mother of the Savior of the world, the promised Messiah." These are big names, but it was the person that all of the nation were looking for years and hundreds of years and thousands of years. They're all waiting for this promised person or promised Messiah, which means someone from God, to come to earth. And the angel said to Mary, "You're going to be the one." And Mary was very surprised, and she did not know how that was going to happen, but it did happen. And she went and she got hold of Joseph and said, "Joseph, guess what? Going to have a baby." And he was like a bit surprised. Parents know why. And you can pop your hand down for the moment. I'll let you answer a question in a little while. Anyway, Mary and Joseph also got visited by an angel, because he was thinking, "What's going on around here? This doesn't seem right." as you do. And angel came and said to Joseph, Joseph, don't be afraid to take Mary as a wife. Go and get married. So they went and got married, and then they had to go on a little journey to another town. This was my favourite bit of last story time last Sunday. Well, the previous one was when, if you haven't heard this story, I'm going to tell it now. If you have heard it, please laugh anyway. The kids, I was asking them, how did Joseph get Mary up to the town that they had to go to? Because she was very pregnant, big and pregnant, and was finding it hard to walk. And so Joseph got and I painted an animal on the canvas with great big long ears and a big nose and a tail and a big belly, and put pregnant Mary on it and said, so what did he use? And the kid said, I know, a goat. I was like, no, not a goat. And the next one said, yes, I know too, a goat. Now, can you, I was like, no, not a goat. Can you tell me what Mary rode on? Yes, 1, yes, 2, 3. Anyone else? Tell me what was the animal that Mary rode on? I'm going to come back to you. Well, let's ask this guy, because he said, yeah, you know too. Good. What was it?
Horse.
A horse. Close.
A donkey. A donkey. A reindeer.
I should have stopped at 2 donkeys. I was ahead. All right. So, not a rabbit either. So Mary and Joseph ended up traveling along, getting to a place, and what happened was that their town where Joseph and Mary had been born, they hadn't lived there for years and years, and so their mum and dad weren't there, and their family, they all had guests, and there was nowhere in the town that Mary and Joseph could go and sleep the night. And the problem was Mary was having a baby and there was no hospital. What would you do? Okay, well, what happened was there was a guy who said, well, I don't have any spare rooms for you, but you can use my stable out the back. It's just, and we don't know whether it was a shed. Let's think it was maybe a wooden shed or a stone shed. Maybe it was a cave. We don't know. But in there, that was the place where he kept his animals, and it was winter and it was cold. And he said, you can go in there. That'll keep you out of the rain or any snow or anything else that happens. And so Mary went into the stable and she had a baby boy. Who knows what the baby boy's name was? Yeah, 1. I'm going to count. Anyone else know who the baby boy was? What was his name? 2, 3, 4. Okay, shout it out. Okay, yep. Yeah, good on ya. So Jesus was born. Now, God was sitting up in heaven, and he was very excited about this. He was very excited that his plan that he'd been planning for so long to send Jesus, the Messiah, to the world was starting to happen. And so I'm going to let the singers carry on to the next couple of songs while I paint what happened. Now, William, you're going to help me? Hey, William, do you know what my middle name is? Do you know what my middle name is? Close. William. My middle name is William. Did you know that? I know, but I'm borrowed. Okay, my middle name. Yeah, right. Okay. Over to you, Brad. Okay, kids. Don't get any paint on myself. I'm going to take this shirt off because I get in trouble all the time for getting too much paint on myself or any paint. So, you ready? And you watch me. Make sure I don't get any paint on me. And watch the story and tell me what happened next in the story with Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus that had just been born.
Why don't you jump back on your feet? We're going to sing some more carols together.
Children weep no more. Hope is on the horizon. Weary world, behold your promised Messiah. Angels, let your song begin. Here comes heaven. Christ is born in Bethlehem. Here comes heaven. Sin away no more. Love has broken silence. Come, let us adore. For the Savior is with us. Angels, let your song begin. Here comes heaven. Christ is born in Bethlehem. Here comes heaven. Here comes heaven. Now behold His glory, glory in the highest. All the earth rejoice, for Christ is born. Now behold His glory, glory in the highest. All the earth rejoice, for Christ is born. Over all new morn breaks the dawn of salvation. Darkness reigns no more, for Jesus is greater. He is greater. Angels, let your song begin. Here comes heaven. Christ is born in Bethlehem. Here comes heaven. Angels, let your song begin. Here comes heaven. All creation worship Him. Here comes heaven.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining. His peace. Chains shall He break, for the slave is a brother, and in His name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise His holy name. Christ is Lord. Oh, praise His name forever. His power and glory, for more proclaim His power and glory, for more proclaim. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. When Christ was born,
All right, so, yes, hand up already. What would you like to say? An angel, yes, you're right. You have a comment on this painting, what is it? You can see an angel, okay, anyone else? Oh, okay, good. What about these three things here? 1, 2, 3, what might they be? Wise men, close, anyone else? Shepherds? Vote, what do you want to change your mind? Votes on wise men versus shepherds. Shepherds. Okay. Well, this is what happened, yes. Okay, so Joseph and Mary and God. In this case, not quite, but good guess. So this is the shepherds. What happened was, there were some shepherds out on the top of the hills, and it's all night time. Here's some stars up here. Should we put some stars up in the sky here? Okay, so it's night time and there's stars around like this, glittery ones. And what happened was that all of a sudden, can you imagine this? You think Mary freaked out when an angel turned up in her kitchen. What about this? You're sitting there outside, it's night time. Who gets a little bit afraid of the dark and not quite sure what's around? What if you knew there were possibly wolves and bears and lions maybe around? Or thieves coming to steal your sheep? What if you knew? Would you be happy sitting out on a hill? That's why there was usually more than one person. They didn't sit out there on their own. So the shepherds were out there looking after the sheep, not attempting to paint sheep this time. I got a bit, slammed for my blue sheep last time. And that's all good. So the shepherds were out there, and all of a sudden, as you said, an angel turns up. Just one. And I like this because God says, He says, I'm just going to send one angel because, I know how scary this is going to be for these guys. So one angel comes into place, and there goes. And the shepherds stepping back like this, and they say, don't be afraid, for today your king has been born. The king that you've been waiting for all these years, King of the Jews, the one who's going to be born King of the Jews. He's been born tonight, the Messiah, the Christ you've been waiting for. The angel spoke to them in the words that they understood. You might not know what Christ or Messiah means, but the shepherds did. And the angel said, and you'll know that this is your king when you go down and you find in Bethlehem a baby wrapped in white cloth and lying in a manger, or another word for it is a food trough, an animal food trough. And you can imagine the shepherds going like, what do you mean? Who has a baby and then lays it in a horse's food trough or a donkey's trough with hay? Or we're looking at the newest baby over here. You didn't happen to lay your baby in hay in a trough somewhere? No. Mel, Adrian, congratulations. Let's give them a cheer for the latest baby just born this week. Yes, would you like to say something? Well, okay, we'll get back to that one. What's that? No, don't touch that. Thank you. That's my friend. His name's Mike. Sit down. Can only be Uncle Mike. Okay, now, so the shepherds then, they've just been told by this one angel, men, you can go down into the town and you can see where your baby Jesus, they've called him Jesus, has been born. Off you go. And they start to get all excited. They're not so worried about this angel now because they got used to the glory of God shining a little bit around, the light, the angel, the man standing there. They're sort of, okay, this is an important moment. And so then God goes, well, I can show them a little bit more then. And all of a sudden, thousands of angels. Boom! God sort of rips open heaven and scatters them all over the place. Just because he's so excited about... I just think that God got a little bit excited. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. All of a sudden, there's thousands of angels singing and telling about God's glory, and they're all around. And the shepherds run. Not out of fear, because they're going like, this is amazing. And they tear off and they head down into Bethlehem to go and try and find the baby Jesus, because they know he's very, very special. All right, I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit more story after the next couple of songs.
Let's all stand up again. Crown yon Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face. With the dawn of redeeming grace, Jesus, Lord, in thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
All right, here we go. Forgot about the mic. Okay, so here's the thing. How about when you see me about to get paint on my hands or on myself again, you say, whoops. What about whoops? Or stop. What is it? Come on, vote. Paint. What's your vote? Stop. Okay, stop seems the easiest. Anyone else? Any other ideas? Better ideas? Okay, let's hear you shout stop then. Ready? Hang on. Let's set it up. Ready? Got to get practiced. Spread. See this paint here? Let's spread it around. And just imagine that I'm just like talking away to you guys, and I'm just sort of talking away, and I go like this, and I got to rest my hand down here. What are you going to say? Quick. Okay. All right. Let's try it again. Because it was almost good, but there was nobody did it. No one shouted stop. Let's try again. Oh, that's better. That really got my attention. Because you see, I get paint on me. And have I got any paint on me? Oh, that's very good, isn't it? Yeah, well, yeah. Let's stop getting red paint's the worst. Right, so, okay, here we go. If I put some up here. After the shepherds were there, somebody else came in the story. Who was it? Somebody said it before. You said it before. Who was it that came before? That was very quiet. The wise men in this story. So, how do we paint wise men? What do they look like? Ready? You are? buddy. You didn't spot it. I was almost putting my hand down again. Okay. Come on, show me that you're actually looking out for me. Ready? Okay. I got it. But can you do it again? Like, there was a wise man and... Wow, I don't need red paint. I'll just get your face. Let's pop that up here and nice and red. Okay, good. Right, so I got the red paint. So let's see. We've got these three guys here and you're catching on, you're catching on. Good. This is getting a little bit of audience participation. Let's get a little bit of yellow. Okay, so now you got to watch out for the yellow paint too, all right? Because I'm going to put yellow paint in here. Woo! That was a bit more yellow paint than I thought I might need. Look, see, plenty of yellow paint there. Spread that around a little bit with my trusty brush. Now, what happens if I do that? All right. Okay. I think we've had enough of that. It's what? Oh no! You didn't stop me. Now I'm going to be in so much trouble if I get this anywhere. What am I going to do? Shouting at me. What are you all shouting at me? I can't see my nose. Yes?
You got paint on your nose and your shirt.
Fat lot of good you guys are helping me stop getting paint on my shirt. Can you, Lisa, can you come and wipe some paint off Papa's nose? Hang on, I'm going to get them up. This is my granddaughter here. She don't do that. There we go. Is it coming off?
A bit.
How you going? Can I help? There's a lot of nose. Yeah, a lot of nose means. Oh, okay, get there. I'm not gonna. Is it all off? Oh man. How's that? Is that better? All right. Let's get back to the story. Okay, so three wise men. What about my shirt? Oh, I'm going to leave the shirt on. Okay. Let's put some. What might those be? What about this? Put some things there. And let's see, what other colour have I got? Not a lot of colours here. Let's go like this. Let's go. Oh yeah, a little bit of that. A little bit of that. What do we got here? What do we got here? Hang on a moment. What's this? Oh, no. You know what? I'm past that stage now. It's too far. What do we got? What's going on here? Oh, so it's just now you tell me to stop. You don't want me to stop. You want me to get paint on me. Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, let's just sort of go. Oh, it's too late. It's all done. It's just, nothing much I can do about this. But, okay. So, you see, what happened is that three wise men turned up. Right? Yeah. And they came bearing gifts. Hey? It was upside down. No, but look, it's not. Here's the baby here, and he's smiling. Yes. Yeah, I'm in trouble now. All right. Okay. So here's the thing. 3 wise men turned up and they came from far away and they brought with them the most expensive gifts that they could. Now, I just want to ask you something. Have you ever had a Christmas when you never got a gift? Some children don't ever get a gift. And can you imagine what it'd be like for baby Jesus? And first of all, in come some shepherds and they're smelly and they've got sheep poo on their feet and wooden staves in their hand and they're a bit hot and sweaty because they've been running from the hills, and they turn up to worship Jesus. And then some 3 wise men turn up and they ride in quietly on their camels and they come in with gold and frankincense and myrrh of gifts to give Jesus. Let me ask you a question. Who do you think God was happier with? It's a trick question. Yeah? Jesus is always the right answer, except when it's my middle name. Yes? Mary? Yes. Okay. Yes? Why? Why the shepherds? They didn't give him gold, but they were worshipping him. I told you it was a trick question, didn't I? Most of us would think that the wise men with all their wealth and all their richness are the most important and that God was happiest with them. But here's an interesting thing. The angels didn't turn up to them. The angels turned up to the shepherds. And you know, right there is this amazing thing that you can remember as you're growing up. That sometimes all you have to give God is yourself. And he's just as happy with you if you do that than if you come with the most expensive gifts to give him. When you get older, you'll give things to God and you give that via the church, or you give it via donations to people who are in poverty, or however you do it. There are ways we give and worship God. But as a child, all you need to know is to come like a shepherd, whatever you like, and worship Jesus. That's the end of the story today. I'm going to hand back to the musos. We're going to sing another song, then we've got a few little gifts to give out. Let's stand and sing.
Hey kids, we want to see your dance moves in this one. Can you guys do that for us?
To certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay, in fields where they keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. Come on, kids. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east beyond far into the earth. He gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Nowhere, 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 nowhere,
church, and we have kiddie church, and we love to do stuff with our kids and teach them Bible stories and raise them up, and so we just want to recognise that you children have done a great job this year. You've been in these Sunday school kids church classes. Thanks, Samuel. How are you? Samuel is our kids church overseer, and Samuel and my wife Lil are going to give out some gifts. Samuel's got the boys' presents, so if you're a boy, here we go, have a gift from Samuel. If you're a girl, come and grab one of these ones. Here you go. That's good. Good on you. Saying thank you. You're welcome. That way, that way. Thank you. Sure, we've got one more song. All right, thanks, kids. You may go and, if you want to, kids, sit down somewhere on the floor or stand and sing. Excuse me, off the stage, Bardo. Good on ya. We're going to stand and sing one last song, and then we're going to close the service with a prayer. Hey, that was it. Oh, I really did get out of time, didn't I? All right. In that case, I'm going to pray a prayer for us for the end of this year. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this day. Lord, I thank you for the excitement of small children and the chaos and the joy that they bring to our lives. Lord, I just ask that the supreme gift that our Heavenly Father gave to this earth and to me would not be lost in this time of Christmas, that we would become more grateful for what God has done by sending His Son. Lord, I just ask that 2019, to every hearer here, may be healthy and prosperous, even as your soul prospers. That's a blessing from Jesus' best friend, John. May you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So I pray that upon you all, and that you leave this place in peace. Amen. Next Sunday we have a service here. It'll be a slightly smaller one, I presume, but maybe not. Lil and myself will be down having Christmas holidays with our family. Our 3 children are all married and come across with their spouses to Perth. Lil's mum and dad are down in Perth, and we're going to go down there and spend Christmas Day with them. We fly out tonight. And then we'll be back the following Sunday. Not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. And I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And please hang around and have morning tea with us out here. Thanks for coming.